What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Stump! And if you're having trouble dealing with the Coalition on raid and rushing the bomb sites isn't working anymore, I got you. I'm going to be showing you some nade lineups that you and your team can use to set up a default for raid, so that way you have another strategy to use on this map. Now, I'm going to be honest, we didn't hit our like goal, so I really shouldn't be making this video, but you guys have been asking for this video for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and make it for you guys, but I really want you guys to hit the like button on this video and get us to our like goal of 100 likes. I am not asking for much, just hit the like button, it doesn't hurt. If anything, it helps me. And also make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because sometimes YouTube just unsubscribes people for no reason. It's really annoying. And there we go again. Not again. So I'm going to timestamp it in the description below for you guys of what we're going to be going over, which we're going to be going over the map layout and what you can expect on this map. We're going to be going over the standard utility and what this utility is going to be used for. And also we're going to be going over the positions for these individual defaults, so that way you know where to position yourself when tackling this strategy. So let's go ahead and get into the map layout. Now I am going to say this. Raid is a coalition-sided map. And I know a lot of you are going to say, no it's not, because A-site is really easy for the breach to take. And to those players, I'm going to say, you don't know how to defend A-site. And all you really need to do to defend A-site as the coalition is to throw this flashbang right here over this wall, and this will flash everyone in gravel, which is the main rush route for the breach. Combine this flashbang with a smoke grenade, and it just makes it much harder for the breach to push. So the smoke is going to land right here after the breach has been flashed, and it's going to make it very hard for them to push through, because even if they try to push through, they're going to have a hard time trying to get good angles onto the coalition. So because the breach is delayed, that gives the coalition enough time to set up on a site to be able to stop them from pushing in. It does not matter how much utility they use, as long as that smoke flash combo for the coalition is used, the breach push to a site is done. Now, on top of that, the coalition also have this rotation route from A site to B site. It's very convenient, especially if the breach decide to rush either bomb site, because it's very easy for the coalition to just push up here and take gunfights coming out of tunnels. And let's not forget about this flashbang that the coalition has.
Eyes down, flashbang out.
Delicious. They can stop the A push. They can rotate between the bomb sites fast. What does the breach have? The breach has mid. Now, I decided to do a little bit of research just so that way I can see if there are any utility that are being thrown into mid, and I've looked and there is none. I mean, not even in my old videos about raid do I have any utility for mid. But something about the breach and mid is that the breach have their very own rotation route to be able to go from B long to A long by going through mid. I mean, you can start all the way here in B long and go through this boiler room corridor and go straight into mid right here to be able to rotate into A long right here, well, into yard. And then this takes you to gravel path. So the goal for this default is to be able to utilize this rotation from B site to A site for the breach, to be able to get through mid and be able to cut off the coalition's rotation routes. And the only way to do that is to pester the coalition with utility on either bomb site to make them think that they're getting their site taken. And I'm going to show you your standard utility you're going to be using for this default. And we're going to start with mid, because I believe this is probably the most important utility to use, especially to get mid control, because this will keep coalition from pushing out from north connector. So instead what you're going to do is you're going to run up to this pillar, look at the R on the top row of letters right here, and you're going to jump through this smoke. This smoke will bounce off and it'll land right here. This will block off the entrance to north connector for mid, and this will allow you to swing this and throw this flashbang. The goal for the flashbang is to throw it over the boxes, which is what I didn't do. So make sure you aim up a little bit higher, round around there, and it'll flash mid right there. Now, usually you don't have a lot of players holding mid as the coalition, so it is important to throw that flash just in case there is one. But again, before you throw the flash, you're going to throw this smoke, looking at the R, and jump throwing. And then you're going to throw this flashbang. This will flash mid, and you'll be able to rotate between the bomb sites easily. The smoke also blocks off the A-long entrance, but it shouldn't be too much of a big deal because the breach will have mid control either way, so they'll be able to figure out what they need to do from there. All right, now let's get into the B-long smoke flash combo. So as you're running, you're going to be looking at this brick portion of this pillar right here, and you're going to run up to this pillar, and you're going to throw the flashbang, jump through the flashbang. It'll flash over the box, and that way you can step out and throw this smoke towards the back of B-long here. Now the thing about B-long is that by the time you're throwing this flash, the coalition should be pushing out at the back of B-long here, going into B site. So this flash will blind them going into the site, and if anyone dares try to hold this angle, they're going to be blinded and they're going to have to fall back, so the smoke will keep them back there. So again, running around this corner, looking up to the top of this brick portion here, and jump throwing, stepping out, throwing the smoke. And you see how fast I just did it. You're able to do it pretty fast. The smoke did land a little bit further back, and that's okay. Alright, now it's time for the A-long smoke flash combo. Now as you're running out of jugs, you're going to be looking for this first rung of this smokestack, and you're going to run out and jump through this flashbang. The arc of the flashbang should make it that it arcs down into this main road out here in A site, so that way any coalition pushing out from this underpass will be blinded by that flashbang. And as you're running out, you're going to stop by this brick wall right here, look over to the middle of this window, look up to the first ring of the smokestack again, and you're going to jump through the smoke. This smoke will land in underpass and keep the coalition from using this as an area to hold after they get flashed. So they can't really peek out into here. They have no way to see out, and it keeps them from pushing out. All right, now hold on. Isn't this utility the same utility to be used when you're pushing the bomb sites? Yes, because the goal of this default is to pester the coalition to make them question which bomb site is going to be taken. And because the A site utility and B site utility is going to be thrown, they have no idea where you're going to be going. There could be one player going A site, or all 5 players could be going A site. There could be one player going B site, or all 5 players are going B site. It's going to make it hard for them to figure out where the breach is going, which is why that mid utility is there to be used in case, you know, they stack one site, then you need to be able to rotate back around to get to the other site to be able to plant the bomb. All right, that's all the standard utility. Now let's get into the standard default and the positions for the standard default. So your standard default is going to be 2 players A long, 1 player mid, 2 players B long. Standing here in mid, you're going to have the mid player throw the smoke and flash combo. Wait for the smoke to pop, then throw the flashbang. I recommend you throw the flashbang when you're looking at this second support beam, so that way it gets over the boxes and flashes anyone at north connector. Then they have the option to push out, check right here, and they can also have the option to check in tunnels as well, just to stop the coalition from trying to rotate between the bomb sites. Now for you 2 B-long players, 1 player is going to throw the smoke flash combo, just as this. And he's not going to be pushing all the way up here. He's going to be holding this barrel right here to see if any coalition players try to peek out. He'll be here to try and push them back just to stop them from pushing out. The second player who didn't throw the utility will be hanging out around boiler room, checking this angle right here in case the mid player does go down to a coalition player right here. So if the coalition player mid decides to try and push up, this boiler player will be able to come out and take it by surprise. This also creates a crossfire with the player A long standing right over there. So the coalition player has to choose of whether or not to be able to peek this first and get ousted, and then get swung by this player standing right here. Or if he wants to peek this first, get ousted by this player, and get swung by the boiler player. So lastly, for your 2 players A long, you're going to have the 1 player throw this smoke flash combo, just like this. And he's going to line himself right up here at the edge of gravel path. Nothing too fancy. Just sit here, wait for the coalition to swing, and then fall back, take another position, and get ready to take them on if they do try to push this. The second player will be holding this doorway right here, like I said before, to create the crossfire with the boiler player, and also to help support the mid player trying to push in mid to get that mid control. Because the coalition only have 2 entrances to get to mid. One of them's directly from their spawn like the breach is, but the other entrance is right here from vents, because they have to go through the bomb site, into tunnels, and up right here. And the breach have 3 players already on mid, waiting for this player to push. Alright, and with that, that is how you default on the map Raid as the Breach. And by following the standard utility lineups that I have provided in this video, along with the different positions for each individual default, you and your team will be winning more rounds as the Breach. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay safe. Bye-bye.